Miles, 9 of 14 from deep, one shy of an Auburn record. Just what got into you today, especially that little stretch where I think you hit like 3 in a row?
I mean, I just came out feeling it. First possession down, they came at me. I knocked a shot down. After that, I was just feeling it from there. The rubber rims, I love them. They felt good. Every time I shot the ball, I thought it was going in. And my teammates did a great job of finding me.
Talk about the second half for you. You had to go the whole way because of Denver. How are you feeling afterwards? I think that's the most minutes you've played this season.
Knowing dude's going down, just having to step up as a freshman. I was prepared. I'm ready. Coach put us in situations like this, so when the time presented itself, I was ready.
And then we'll get Pat after.
Miles, how important do you think it was to kind of not take the crowd out of the game early, but kind of get them back in their seats in those first few minutes, especially with that kind of 12-0 flurry at the beginning?
I mean, it was super important. I mean, we know in teams, when we play away, a lot of their energy comes from the crowd. So being able to take them out the game and kind of kill their confidence a little bit, it was super important for us, and we just did that the whole game.
For both players, I'm wondering about just the confidence that you guys play with, and it seems like pretty much anybody has a green light if you're feeling good and you got a decent shot.
Just coach putting that battery in our back, telling us, if you got it, shoot it. Just giving us the confidence, having our back during the rough times, knowing that, we got backup players that can come in and do whatever we need to do to win at any time. So just knowing that, having that type of depth on the bench and that type of confidence from your coaches helps us a lot.
Todd, during the second half, y'all really slowed it down, and you were kind of able to get downhill. What were you seeing throughout the second half?
They played a lot of drop, so just coming off screens and reading what the defender was doing, and then just seeing the gaps that I can attack and just taking advantage of it.
Miles, this was Kentucky's season low in three-point attempts and tied for the season low in makes. Bruce talked heading into the game about running them off the three-point line. What was the key to doing that and taking it out from what they wanted to do?
It was just like you said. I think we do the best job in the country of preparing and scouting, and that was the game plan, to run them off the line. We knew they had some good shooters, some great shooters that could shoot from deep, and we just executed that game plan, and it came to fruition.
Sorry, guys. Peter.
Miles, we've seen it a few times this season where they've kind of run that play for you to get an open shot early, first possession of the game. When you see that go in on the first possession, how much does that mean for your confidence, and how much of a boost does that give you guys?
I mean, it means a lot. I mean, first play down, we come out and shoot 3 off the very first possession. I think it just brings the overall team energy up. And then for me, of course, when you hit your first shot, you just have ultimate confidence the rest of the game, and that's what I had.
One more for Ferg. For Nathan.
Miles, for you, y'all just clinched a share of the regular season. Some people say it's the best conference in the history of the sport. What do you think it says about y'all's body of work the entire year to lead wire to wire in this league?
I mean, they just say that we're some dogs. Honestly, we come in every night, every game, to ready to rock out and play. And we just like I said, we prepare the best, and I think it's a real reason why we're so successful.
All right, thanks, guys.
I just want to say something that I hope you'll find is funny. I was prepared to win, but I was also prepared to lose, which I've done a lot in this building. Last time I had a win here, Chris Lofton, I'd be curious how many he had, but it was in the high 20s, had a big game, and obviously Miles Kelly had a huge game tonight. But my line was going to be, every now and then when y'all have a coaching change, my name comes up. Why in the world would you ever want me to be your coach when I can't win in Rupp? That was going to be in my line. But having coached at Southern Indiana and Evansville, Indiana, having coached in Division II for a long time, y'all remember what great basketball there is in the state of Kentucky and the state of Indiana, and how y'all love your high school basketball, but you also love your Division II basketball because y'all respect the game so much. There are no more knowledgeable fans anywhere in the country than right here in Kentucky. And so there have been times I've brought really good teams in here and we've gotten spanked. And every now and then I walk away going, you know, I thought that Pearl could coach a little bit. He can't, you know, whatever. And so I want to bring a team in here, and I want to play good basketball. I want to honor the game, whether we win or lose. And we've played well a couple of times and gotten beat. But this is obviously historic. Two wins and 31 losses and 33 tries. And for this one to be for a championship, it's you know, it's what we do it for, to make history. This is our fifth team in the last 8 years that has won either regular season or tournament championship. So I'm just, you know, super proud and super happy about that.
All right, Berg, and then Nathan, and then Peter, and Pat.
BP, what does it say about the depth of your team that you had no Denver in the second half, you only get 9 from Janai, and you put 94 up in here?
I think it says a lot about the culture. It says a lot about the chemistry. It says a lot about, you know, the guys calling up the Lord, giving God the glory, and trying to do the best of their ability to live that life. And you know, Denver Jones only plays 11 minutes. He's our starting point guard. He's our best defender. And he just can't go. Good news, it was x-rayed, bone bruise, so he's going to recover from it. But he's a tough kid. I was worried that he had a bone break or something. And then, you know, look, Williams is good, and Kentucky's big guys are good. So Janai didn't have as big an advantage down there on the inside. And so we knew we were going to have to make shots against Kentucky. Why? Because if you get in there and you throw some stuff up and they block shots and they get you in transition, that's when the Wildcats are really good. They're great transitions. So we wanted to make sure that we ran our offense, didn't turn the ball over, except some bad shots with some spacing. And Miles Kelly, of course, made a couple of bad shots go in.
Bruce, you've talked over and over again about this. You know, it's the best the SEC's ever been for you guys to have clinched the league with a full week remaining. What do you think it says about your team?
Well, one of the things I said, you know, I wanted the guys to appreciate this, is that there are a lot of really good teams in this league. Like right now, Florida and Alabama are right there on our heels. You know, Tennessee, this Kentucky team has beaten 7 teams in the top 15. This Kentucky team has got 5 wins over the top 10. So they're obviously incredibly capable. Stephen Pearl's our defensive coordinator. Mike Burgermaster had the scout, my offensive coordinator. So those two guys put together an unbelievable game plan. Look, taking the 3-ball away from Kentucky is important. Coach Pope runs the best 5-out anywhere in college basketball, and we run some 5-out too. And because we run some, we do know how to defend it. And so we did a great job defending it, and yet we still ourselves got some great 5-out looks where both Miles and Tahad and occasionally Chad Baker got good looks behind it.
Bruce, we've seen you guys a few times kind of run that play in the first possession to get Miles an open shot. So what does it mean for his confidence in just the offense as a whole getting started when he, you know, knocks down that open shot to start the game?
You know, I mean, scouting is so good. I guarantee you Kentucky knew one of the first looks was going to be a screener from Miles Kelly. And, you know, when you call that number, when you call his play early, obviously I'm sending him a message that, you know, that we have confidence in him. And you know, he obviously knocked a bunch of big shots down.
All right, Pat first, and then Henry.
Bruce, all of your guys play with confidence, and it seems like that's recurring year after year. Why or how do you inject that much confidence into them?
But I think that one of the things that coaches got to do, number one, it is our responsibility to get our teams to play harder and more effort and energy than the opponent. A lot of coaches don't think you should coach effort and energy. I think you have to. The second thing is, I think every player's got great strengths. Every player has got weaknesses. And my job as head coach is to put my players in positions to be successful. And when they are, they're going to have more confidence because they're going to look good at the stuff they're good at. And so I think that's part of the reason why, you know, they play with confidence. And then the last thing would be this: the simple trade-off with me and them are bad shots, you know, are not an issue. Take a possession off, pass on a physical play, don't sprint back in transition because you're tired. I got issues with that. But making mistakes, get to the next play.
Henry.
Bruce, Tahad played basically the entirety of the second half, had to run the offense throughout. What did you kind of see from him?
I mean, Todd Pettiford has not started a game. and has not said one word to any of his coaches. His family has not said a single word because he was raised right. And look, guys, there are still great stories about kids that want to be coached, they want to be held accountable, and kids that aren't. You know, I spoil my children, and I will slap the rotten right out of them. We all spoil our kids, don't we? But we ain't gonna spoil them rotten, and that's why I want to coach, and that's why I want my kids to feel they're loved. But when they do behave selfishly, or they do behave in such a way that either God's not going to bless it, or it's going to bring the team down, we call it out. We call it out. And so, I mean, Todd's been great, and he's got great courage. You know, as a freshman, the seniors done a great job kind of embracing him, and you know, to play the entire game and to, you know, have Butler guarding him sometimes and not have a turnover is incredible.
All right, 2 more.
Bruce, as someone who's had experience having a #1 ranked team before, when you were putting this roster together, was there a point where you felt like we got a shot to be this good, or has that just been part of the journey of the season getting to this point?
It's really been the journey. I had no expectations that this team would be this good. I think one of the things about putting the roster together, a couple things. Sometimes less is more. I have 12 guys on scholarship, not 13, because I can't keep 13 happy. I have 1 player that's on scholarship knowing that he was going to be in practice all year, which gets us down to 11. Now, the risk you run is injury. But taking that risk, my guys are almost all my guys are playing. So when we lost Jalen Williams a year ago, who was one of our best players, we didn't dip in the transfer portal and try to go get a 5-star foreman to replace Jalen Williams. I told Jani Broom, Dylan Carwell, and Cheney Johnson, I'm empowering you guys. We're going to make this big lineup work. They were all seniors. They had all paid their dues. Whether we won or not, they had all earned the right for me to not bring a big-time player over their head. That was when the chemistry was built. And guess what? Those guys appreciated that, and they trusted us. And then, you know, I think you can still make great decisions in the transfer portal. Kentucky's got some terrific players at the transfer portal. They've made really good evaluations on some mid-major guys that are a little older. Denver Jones was at Florida International. Chad Baker-Mazar was in junior college. Cheney Johnson was Division II. Miles Kelly won his first championship in his life, he just told me. Was at Georgia Tech, and Georgia Tech doesn't win the ACC recruiting battles right now. And yet, as a guy that was going to be a 5th-year senior, he's a 3-and-D guy. And when you got some of the quality size I have in inside, to get another 3-and-D guy out there. And then the last piece is this: Chad Baker-Mazara might be our most valuable player, because I can put the ball in Chad Baker-Mazara's hands. He can shoot it, he can score it, and get it to everybody else. He is so complete in his game. Obviously, and the pieces of, you know, coming together nicely.
For a quick one.
Yeah, Bruce, I was going to ask you about Chad. Back-to-back 22-point games. You know how, obviously, physically what he's had to go through, the sickness and the injuries, just for him to catch fire like this late in the year, what does that mean for y'all as a team?
Well, he's healthy. He's healthy now. And, you know, his dad lives and works in the Dominican as a coach. And, you know, has spent way more time in Auburn trying to support his son and help his son. And, you know, families are a huge part of these young people's success, so on and so forth. So obviously it takes a village. Corey Williams, one of my assistant coaches, has developed a very good relationship, a trusting relationship with Chad. One of the things I know, Tom Davis taught me this. Tom Davis said, you know, you got to let the players be who they are. Now, there are times when Chad is so passionate, and he takes that passion and it goes in the wrong way, and it doesn't reflect necessarily well on him or on Auburn. But I'm not trying to change who he is. I'm trying to have it be a situation where he can be himself and just grow and learn. And this is the 2nd game in a row he hasn't got a technical foul. We're making progress.
All right, thanks, Coach.
Okay, thank you.